What is up? So it is me, CaptainC. CaptainC, what is up now, guys? I think the latest for me, I got my license. That was so unbelievably. Just making sure that the door is shut. Hold on. And it is. Well, so me getting the license, that was huge. That was very big. A big thing for me now is I'm I'm 20 years old and I have never dated anybody. I have never been in a relationship. I have zero experience. I had a kiss during a truth or dare a few years back. That doesn't count. It doesn't. I mean, yeah, it was kind of nice getting that experience, but it was only one day. But and it's tough. It it sounds cringy and it sounds a little lame, but I do believe that I'm a nice guy, and I know it sounds, cringy, but it is true. I'm a overall pretty good guy, and I think a lot of us are, and a lot of nice guys do have girlfriends, and a lot of nice guys don't, and yeah, there's some not so good guys who have nice girls, and you're like, dude, why are you dating him, and so yeah, um, now I tried Bumble. I tried Bumble. I'm not getting any matches. I tried a little bit of Tinder. A lot of it, actually, a good portion, and I got nothing. I've been on the Clover dating app. I just got that app, and I have a 7-day free trial, and I am not using it after the 7 days because it's $19.99 a week. A week. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I mean, if it was like 99 cents a week, maybe. I mean, no, not gonna happen. So I'm really hoping that something starts picking up. And I've been swiping, or not really swiping. It's more like pressing buttons or something like that. But it's I've been on there for probably an hour and a half, probably like 15 minutes on 5 minutes off or 10 minutes off or something like that. But I've been on it quite a bit, and I don't even have any faves, which means so somebody sees your profile, well, and clicks favorite. That's the like button, the swipe right, type of thing. And I don't even have one. Like, I don't need 10. I don't need 20. I don't need 3. Just give me one girl who seems overall like she doesn't need to look like a 10 out of 10. Now, I'm not saying that I just want a nice girl that looks cute or pretty and who will, I guess, have a good conversation, have a good relationship. Sure, I'll do the cuddles or whatever. Like, I mean, I ain't no simp or anything, but I mean, I'll. Oh, what was that noise? Just on the Call of Duty game? I think so. It was like or something. I don't know. But I mean, I'll choose you over the. I mean, I'm not going to like not have any personal time or whatever, and be a simp, you know, and just all day every day is about her. But I mean, I'll choose you in certain situations. I mean, you know, it's just it's tough. I mean, I'm just looking for like experience at this point. I mean, but I'm telling people, you know, if you know anybody who is like single and is overall a good person, and you know, let me know. Let's try to, I guess I'm on the market, you can say. So, yeah, but I'm 20 years old. It's time to get into a relationship. It is. I mean, and I did pass on this one girl, and just I didn't think she was very attractive. She was a co-worker of my stepmom's, and I think she was 1 year younger than me, and my stepmom could have set something up. She could have. I mean, we could have started texting for sure. But I just didn't think she was attractive. I mean, when I look back on it, now she is in a relationship now. But I look back on it and I'm like, oh, man, I mean, no. Well, when I look back at it, I just think kind of like I didn't find her attractive. I mean, is she ugly? No. But there was a few pictures that what I think I should have done, because I had no experience. I didn't know when the next opportunity was going to come. What I should have done was at least be like, okay, you know what? You don't have anything going on for you. She isn't ugly. She isn't. You know what? Let's try to. If I could go back, I would be like, you know what? Give me her phone number, and let's start texting. Now my friend took the opportunity, and he started texting her, but she didn't want to. He tried to set up a date or things like that, and just she never wanted to go on a date. And now she is dating a guy or whatever. Now her sister, though, I saw her sister on Facebook, and she looks pretty. I thought she was attractive. Now, how old is she? I think at this time, I think now she's 18. I think then, I mean, she might have been like 17 then, or whatever, and I 19. Not too bad, right? 17 and 19. But yeah, I mean, but I'm ready for I think what I was afraid of then was that, if I don't find her attractive, what is the goal? Because now, I'm a nice guy, and if she likes me, how are we supposed to move forward when I don't think that she is like 100% attractive? I just kind of grabbed the number because I was desperate, and what I'm saying, if a relationship is going to end, I don't want it to be because, well, I don't really want to go long term with you because I just don't find you 100% like, about to go on well. I was just kind of desperate. Like, you don't look ugly, but I mean, you're not the most attractive. Like, now there is some girls who, and now oh man, my feet are killing me on this hoverboard. Is my shoes down here? I mean, whoa. But there's this one girl at my old work at Costco, and she was like, she had, I'm just going to be flat out honest. I just farted and I'm like waiting to smell it, and I don't want to smell it, but I'm just kind of waiting for it. Okay, that was not very professional what I said. Yeah, and I don't usually talk like that, but I was just telling the truth. I mean, okay, yeah, I don't smell it yet. I'm just riding in this hoverboard, which is making the wind go a little bit more, and I don't know if it's... anyways, at Costco, there was this girl, I'm just going to be honest, she had nice boobs, she had nice ass, she looked like a model, I'm not gonna lie. And I thought about asking for her number, but also I didn't have my license then, so it was kind of like, you know, if I did get a date, how would we go on a date, you know? But then I thought about it, and like, I mean, her boobs like stood out. I mean, her ass stood out. She was just a walking like every man and would automatically like look at her. And not at Costco. I didn't see that at Costco. I really didn't. But you know, if we went to some family gathering or to some business party, like whatever it is, I'm just saying, you know, if we went to a bar, if we went out, you know, every man would look at her right away. Heck, you know, if I brought her home and my dad and his friends, you know, smoking cigars or whatever, or they would automatically look at her. She was just, it stood out too much. She like, I mean, she's just a, that's when it just looked, it's just too much. I mean, it's just, you know, when your lady is like that, a freaking 11 out of 10, it's just, you know, everybody is gonna be like, damn, whew, sheesh, skirt. I mean, but what I am looking for in a girl, I think, is just a cute, pretty girl, who is maybe not like a... Wait, did my dad say? I thought my dad said something for a moment, but no. Like a cute, pretty girl who is maybe kind of not that like farm countryside girl, but I guess kind of just, and you know, I'm a Christian. Like, her being a Christian would most definitely help. You know, I think that's what I'm really looking for, you know, and you know, I don't want that one girl who is into like smoking weed or anything like that. Like, I don't have anything against smoking weed. I mean, it's just not like, I wouldn't want her to be like smoking it like all the time, and then I'm like, bruh. If I really, I don't think I don't want somebody who smokes. I mean, I've been around that my whole childhood, and I have asthma. I mean, it's just not something that I really like to breathe in, so it would be helpful if that wasn't in the future. But if she likes to drink, I'm fine with that. Because I like to drink. I'm not even going to lie anymore. Now I would, now I do not want her to be drinking too much, but really I'm not, I'm not gonna be like, because I like to drink. If she wants to come home from work and have 4 cups of wine, no, I don't care. I'm not gonna stop her. She can do whatever she wants. You know, so, but yeah, and see, these are things that I have not been in a relationship, so I don't have any experiences with this. So, but yeah, I think the best place to really the best way to really meet a girl, if you really want to, and actually, you know, I saw this on TikTok. You know, just go to a Target, and you can probably find, you could probably get a phone number there. Like, there will be girls. I mean, you might not get it on the first try, but and actually now this is me adding on to what the TikTok said. 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 Alright, moving on. You know, if you can be there for like 2 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, just getting phone numbers, trying to get a phone number, and you know what? You will probably. I betcha. I mean, and my dad has said this. You know, it's a numbers game, like literally numbers. If you ask 10 girls for their number, or 3 out of 10, and 10 will probably say yes. You know, I think a regret that I have is over at Florida. I only asked for one girl's number, one girl. I mean, which is still more than I've like ever done in my life. But I mean, and I did talk to her for a bit, but then I found out that she was 14. At least that's what she told me. So I'm like, yeah, bye. I mean, and she was really nice. I mean, I wish she was older, but because maybe I would be FaceTiming her tonight, you know. So it is what it is. But anyways, but yeah. So I think one thing that this one girl, I try to reach out to her like once every 3 months. She was probably, I would have said that she was my best friend for a bit, and she would have said that I was her best friend for a bit. But well, we talked to each other for like 9 months, I think, and it was just, we were friends, and you know, and I told her, you know, problems that I was going through, and she told me problems that she was going through, and our moms were friends, and I thought she was cute. I thought she was pretty. But I thought she was wifey material. I'm not even joking. I really did. I thought she was a good, genuine person. I could picture myself, you know, living with her in the future, and you know, me waking up and being next to her, you know, that type of thing. I mean, I pictured a future. But then I shot my shot, didn't go too well, and just that's how it went, you know, and it is unfortunate. And then later on, I found out that she was bisexual, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Which actually, that pissed me off a little bit, because I'm like, dude, I mean, I kind of wasted all this time to, and that is why I will never play the long game again. You know, trying to be their friend first, and then you know, trying to make your move. You know, just go right in. Just go right in. You know, ask if you want to go out for a cup of coffee or something. Just go right in. I mean, you know, don't waste, you know. I'm getting off of this thing. Just gonna park it. Yeah, but do I have Kleenex in my pocket? I usually have Kleenex. No, I don't. But now that I have my license, it's a lot easier to try to kind of and now I still can't really drive, if she wants to meet over at, say, Texas Roadhouse or something, and I'm like, okay, so I do have my license, I have to talk with State Farm. That's one reason why I was, more like positive regarding regarding talking to girls in Florida, because I knew that number, if I got her number, or it would be more FaceTime, texting, calling, long distance stuff. But yeah, I'm not even joking. Like I don't know. I would really like to have a mate. Hold that bitch in my arms. I'm joking. I'm not like that. I would like to hold somebody in my arms, but what I would like to do is, I still haven't heard back from the. I applied for 2 postal jobs. I was considering applying for a third, but that job was like 40 minutes away. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. And I'm trying to get back with my old job. And I really would. I liked working there. And I was considering heading in there today and talk with them, but it just didn't happen. And I can't tomorrow. Ugh, look at this terrible weather all week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All bad weather. And then we have a few break days. Sunday, Monday. I'm liking the, we are out of that kind of bad weather, where it was 5-7 degrees. Now it's, So after you apply for a postal job, I'm wondering how long. It says 4 days. It usually takes 4 days. Well, I applied for one. on the 15th. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. It's been 1 week since, and then I applied for the other on the 17th. And I've not heard anything back. We appreciate your insurance and the position you will be considered under the competitive procedure for this visa. Advise for the application status when a decision has been reached. I mean, I'm just kind of playing the waiting game right now. See, I applied for 2, which helps, you know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Postal Service is it's a good way to support a family, and or at least supporting yourself. You know, it's a nice solid. There's benefits, there's pay. You know, is it my dream job? No. But who says that, you know, I can't still kind of go after, you know, things that I want to do? But it's, you know, you need to make sure that you have a roof over your head in 10 years when mom and dad are, you know, are ready for their retirement. You know, you gotta be like, okay, you know, how am I going to support myself? And I can do that with the Postal Service. You know, I think a great way for me, I mean, I'm thinking, you know, I've been thinking about, I don't know how it would be possible, but it would be perfect if I could work for the Postal Service and put in hours there, and then as a side hustle, you know, working for Costco in some way, shape, or form. I just don't know exactly. Because I did hear that overtime is a thing at the Postal Service, but I don't know for what positions. Like, say if you're like one of those window clerks, and the post office closes at, say, you know, 5:30. Do you get out at 5:30, or does it sometimes you, or I you know, I just don't know. So, because, you know, say the only way that I can really think of, like, how I could because I worked at Costco as a evening merchandiser during the holidays. What was it? I think it was usually like it was 7 to 11 on weekdays. I mean, not 7 to 11. We would close. I mean, we would get off at 11. So if we were working, like, I would normally work like 2:30 to 11. But I'm thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe I can work, you know, get off at the post office, say at... Now, I did hear that maybe we might get off at 5:30. And you would work like 9 to 5:30, or I don't know. But say, you know, the office closes at 5:30 and then you stay till like 6, you know, wrap things up. I don't know. But anyways, you know, I might still be able to work over at Costco. You know, get some extra money. That's starting pay there is $16 an hour, and so I don't know, so just to kind of get that extra grind. Dude, I mean, it's like, I really thought, I mean, some of my coworkers were like, I mean, at this point, it seems like almost teasing me at this moment. I mean, but one guy in Costco Produce who said that he he was a seasonal, and he got hired back as in 2 weeks. He was a seasonal. He was told that saying he was staying. Turns out not the and sorry the mic. I touched the mic, but I'm itching my eye, both of them now actually. But and then he was super upset about it, and then he got hired back 2 weeks later. All right, and some of the seasonals that was from 2 years ago or last year, whatever you want to look at it, but they were kept on like because I don't know, some people are just like kept on just like that, just and must be nice. I mean, I don't regret what I did, because I didn't. First off, when I was at Jewel, when I was at Jewel, things were falling apart. I mean, it was a great ride, but I've told this story a lot of times, but it's just I just had to go. I mean, I was at first of all, I was a bagger, and then went to produce. I thought of it as a promotion. I mean, I was there for a few months, which was it was a pretty bad boss, really bad boss actually. But it was a good job. I mean, if you were closing and then you were at times you were independent, and it was just and but the boss just really didn't like me all too much. Like, he didn't like me so much that he transferred me. I call it fired. He fired me out of the department, and I went back to bagging. And I was talking to the front end manager because I'm like, okay, I'm going back to front end, but I can't imagine me being a bagger. I mean, because I was still like, I was there for a few months. I mean, at least have him be a cashier or a janitor. I mean, the janitor actually, I met one of the janitors there. He wasn't there for too long, but he was actually farmer produce, and then they moved him as a janitor, and basically he was chilling. He was just wiping down stuff all day. I mean, and he was pretty chill. So I'm like, hey, I wouldn't mind doing that job. But they already had people there, and one of the other janitors actually wanted to be like a cashier or drive up go or whatever, so I'm like, hey, maybe I could take his spot. I mean, but front end is a big department, there's other positions than the bagging position, but no, that she moved me into a bagger. So I thought I was just totally, it's like, really? I mean, well, what a ugly demotion that is, because when I was at produce, I was kind of like, I wasn't a little dog, I wasn't a big dog, but I was a rather big dog. I mean, and then you go back to being a bagger. I mean, what? That kind of sucks, right? So I tried to get into grocery even before I was getting transferred, because I saw it coming, and I'm like, okay, I gotta kind of prepare for this, because he didn't tell me me that I'm being transferred, but I can kind of sense it, and I want to prepare myself. And actually, I missed the opportunity because I actually talked to a grocery manager because it was getting pretty bad. Like, my boss was really on me. It was everything I do was wrong, and I'm not enjoying it. And like, I don't like it here. Like, it was that bad. But then things kind of cooled down, and I'm like, okay, you know what, we're good. And I was talking to one of the grocery bosses about it, and I'm like, no, it's good, you know, I think I'll stay. And then because he was actually going to have me on his grocery team, and then I'm like, and then they hire like three new grocery people, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then things at produce went from going back to being pretty good to getting 2 times worse. And I'm like, okay, yeah, so I would like to, so about that grocery thing, can I come on board? I mean, produce it's bad. They're actually talking to, I mean, not at that point, but it's like, I can kind of sense things are going south in produce. I mean, I would like to join your, like, team. And it's like, listen, I would, talk to the general manager, Jason, about it, but we just hired 3 people. I mean, it's not like, I don't know about this, bud. And then I hear that my boss is in fact transferring me, and I'm like, shit. I mean, and I go back to him and I'm like, yo, so I'm actually getting transferred to front end. I mean, is there any way that I can sneak into grocery? I mean, and not only that, but they're gonna have me back. I mean, that's kind of not to brag or anything, but I think that's beneath me. And they're like, dude, we would. And there's actually 2 different grocery managers, but it's like, what is like, dude, listen, I mean, you know, and then, funny how it works, but then I put in my 2-week notice because I, believe it or not, you know, I get a Costco seasonal gig, and I'm like, dude, this is, I find out I'm gonna be making $17 an hour, and I'm like, sheesh. I'm like, shit. I mean, man, what the fuck? I mean, say, man, mama, I made it. I mean, and then one of the and I didn't tell him I went to Costco. I talked to a few people, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm heading over to Costco. Which is like, everybody knows Costco is so much better than Jewel. They pay better, have better benefits. You know, people aren't actually happy at Costco. And then one of the grocery managers tells me that that, you know, hey, you know, I would have had you on my team or whatever, and it's like, oh, well, if you told me this like 2-3 weeks ago, I mean, I didn't tell him that, but it's like, I would have taken you up on the offer and I would have went over there, but yeah, so but now I'm trying to get back into Jewel, and I'm thirsty. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into Jewel, and what and I heard that actually my old boss went over. I mean, asked one of my friends over at Produce, and he's like so did you hear that boss telling this to one of my friends, not my friend telling it to him, but it's like, so did you hear that Curtis is trying to come back come back here to Produce? And he's like the yeah, text me. He texted me. And he's like like well well he better go to front end, and because he's not coming back here. But I mean, Produce really needs people. I mean, they need people bad. I mean, they do. I mean, it's like at some points, you know, your department does not need anybody, you know, and they're pretty well staffed. And at other times, it's, you know, it's like, yeah, we could probably use one person. We could probably use one or two people. And then there's it's like different levels. It's like you know, say you're booked, you know, and you're like you know, well, we have a full crew. We have a full crew here. And then you are at a point in it, and it's like yeah, you know, we could probably use one person, you know, at the night staff, but we're pretty booked. But also vacations. We had some guys, you know, who need to use you know, to use their, you know, vacation time, and so we could use somebody for that. And then there's other times, you know, that I'm just kind of going down the line. But long story short, Produce right now needs not just one person, but they could use like 3 or 4 people. I mean, help is wanted there. But what I did hear is that there was people interviewing for positions there, and I believe that there is like 2 people who is interested in Produce. They still need to go through the interview phase and things like that, and who knows how long these people will last. Now me, I am somebody. I am somebody who was trained. I know how to do the job. Now, I know people there, and that's a pro and a con. That could help me get the job, and that can help me not get the job. I was pretty good with like everybody except for the Produce boss, but there is somebody who is working in Produce right now who is just not a good worker, and I don't know, is some chick that doesn't get along with the staff, well, with like the main A staff, and who is lazy and doesn't follow directions and things like that. So there's that. And then there's this one person who I was actually there when he was new, and I could tell, you know, hard worker, he's a hard worker. But then he's started showing up more and more during closing nights, and he was basically the boss's little spy, I guess, and started ordering everybody around. Like, I mean, he made this huge wave, and everybody hated him. Now me, when I left, I left kind of like right before all of this, but I guess it made this huge ass wave, and a lot of people quit, a lot of people transferred. There was this whole big wave of just like this one person created. I mean, so I was told this. I mean, I was like, oh really? I mean, which is kind of weird because I mean, I believe it, but it's like, man, I mean, I knew this person like before I quit, but he wasn't that like way. So, I mean, if I could come back, it would be very interesting and be like, like if I was working with him, and it would be interesting how we would get along because I know him, but I know him a different way than other people know him now. So, and also I already have my allies, such as one person's name is Chris. As he's a 60-year-old, he has a few problems on his belt, but we always had an understanding. We both respected each other. We both looked out for each other, Okay, I need a drink real quick. But yeah. But yeah, it would be very interesting. But yeah, I am going to try to go in tomorrow, and talk to now see, it's tough because I can't really just show up at Jewel and talk to people that I need to talk to try to get the job. And I could do it over the phone, but I don't want to do it over the phone. I just don't. I want to talk to these people face to face. Kind of tell. First off, I know these people, so I can have a hey, how are you doing, what's good, Oliver's restaurant over there, have you been over there? Oh yeah, dude, $5 Wednesday, $5 Burger Wednesday, $1 Taco Tuesday. I'm recommending it to like everybody, and then be like, okay, so let's kind of get down to business, and I can kind of tell them, and make my pitch for it, and be like, hey, why I'm here is, hey, why I'm here is, I'm looking to come back to produce. I'm hoping that and I'll tell him, and I know I can talk on the spot, but it's kind of, it is important to me. So sometimes I might get these mental blocks and be like, Beep. It's like, oh, so this is important to you? Okay, Curtis, we're gonna make sure that you stutter and you can't think straight, and you're gonna ruin your chance. But anyways, it's like okay, so why I'm here is, I'm hoping to get back to produce. And I don't care at this point. I don't care if I'm working 12 hours a week or 48 hours a week. But well, actually, I care a little bit. But I'm wondering if it's possible if I can work 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. I can work 6 out of 7 days a week. I am hoping that I can get get Saturdays off. I like to be involved with Woodstock Little League, and whether I want to umpire or coach, I have not decided. I think I'm going to umpire this year. I'm looking for a little bit extra money, um, um, but I'm really hoping that it's possible, you know, and just have a good conversation, and I can say, you know, and I can say, you know, I listen, you know, I get along with Chris. I get along with that. Well, to be honest, everybody gets along with that. But I mean, I got along with my coworkers. You know, and well, I know closing. I know that Chris, you know, not everybody totally got along with him, but I always thought I did. And I always thought that we always had a good working relationship. And I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I'm just really hoping that we can kind of, you know, get something, you know, down and working, and you know, and you know what I might say, you know, listen, if it's any kind of nail biter, whether I can come back here, just have me work, you know, 12 hours a week and see where things are, you know, and you know, if it's not working out, you know, if it's not working out, and if there's any complaints, or if there's any this or that, you know. Oh wow, is it midnight already? At first, I was thinking it might have been like 10 o'clock. Then I'm like, oh wait, no, that's 12. But it's like, I can kind of pull it that way and be like, hey, if it's any type of nail biter or anything, you know, just schedule me, you know, 12 hours a week. And if there's any complaints, or if there's any this or that, or you know, just, you know, let me go. But I would like to be a part of this produce. I mean, just kind of go along with that, because now, if I stay 30 plus work days, then I'm out of my probation, which it didn't help last time. Well, actually, last time, well, what they'll do is just transfer me to front end again, and kind of wait for me to quit. But yeah, hopefully I can walk into Jewel, try to find, you know, try to find the general manager, or the, you know, but there's two people that I want to talk to. I want to talk to the general manager, which his name is Jason. I'm not gonna say you know, any more than that. Then I want to talk to human resources, which her name is Missy. Yeah, and I just kind of wanna show them that I don't just you know, you know, I wanna try to come back, you know. But no, I'm serious. It's like, hey, you know, I want to come back. You know, and I hope that you would like me to come back. So, but yeah, but now the tough thing would be if I feel like going back on this thing. Alright, what is the tough thing? What was I gonna say? I don't know, but yeah, I'll have to I don't know. I'll try to head over there tomorrow because I know I'm going with my grandma tomorrow, and I know for a fact that we are. She said that she can take me over to my old work and we can pick up my check over there, which I do not want to be in there too long. I want to be in and out. I do not want to run into anybody that I worked with over there, because they'll probably be like, yo, do quit on us, you quit on us, and it's like, yeah, well, there's no regrets there. There's no regrets there, but so I really don't want to. Yeah, that's just, it's going to be, I just want to pick up the check, do what I have to do, then get out. And she said, my grandma said that she's going to shop or whatever, but which I told her, I don't want to, I want to be, in and out. So I guess I'm going to wait back in the car, but hopefully now my grandma likes to shop, okay? So I'm hoping that she will allow us to take another trip over to my old work tool, so I can talk to a few people. But the only thing is, hopefully it's after, hopefully it's at least 3 or after, because I really need to try to avoid my old boss. Okay, his name is Lenny, alright? And I need to avoid Lenny because it sucks, but I mean, he does not want me to come back. So I need to pull together all of my resources and try to almost force this change, and because if I talk to Missy, and we're on the same page. If I talk to Jason, and if I have the general manager and human resources on my side, and if Jason realizes and he's like, okay, so, and he's like, listen, Lenny, I understand you don't really want this kid, but you guys need help. I mean, you guys need help, and I don't think he was ever a bad worker, and we always got, I don't know, just kind of like if basically there is 3 players, there's really, alright, there's 3 players in this, and the 2 biggest players is the produce manager, because that's the department that I want to go in, and then there's the general manager. The third player, which is not all too much, but it doesn't hurt for her to be on my side, is the human resources. I mean, everything does regarding applications and things like that goes through human resources. So if she understands, how much I want this job or whatever, it doesn't hurt for her to kind of, but we certainly don't want her against us. If she's against us, it basically won't be a priority on her desk, basically. So it doesn't hurt to have a conversation with her and things like that. So, but yeah, so I mean, not much else that we can say. I mean, could I get into grocery? Oh yeah, I could. I could definitely probably get into grocery. But I really don't want to. There is two way different things, grocery and produce. Two way different things. I mean, I'm trying to think, you know, is there another, you know, it wouldn't hurt, you know, I'm actually thinking of a department that I wouldn't mind touching base on, and it is it's the meat market, but it would have to be closing hours. I talked to and I met this one kid who was involved with meat market. And if you're closing by yourself, I mean, first of all, you're all alone. You're all. I don't think I have ever. Actually, it was either one person or two people closing on meat market. And I wouldn't. It is. First of all, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I mean, but I mean, meat market people though. I mean, you know, like over at Costco. I mean, if you're a meat cutter, you're making 75 grand a year being a meat cutter. Not even a meat market manager, but just a cutter. I mean, so if you learn that skill and switched over to someplace like Costco, I mean, you can support yourself. I mean, but yet again, I mean, I kind of already have like a plan. I mean, so, I mean, the goal is produce, but yet again, meat market is right next to produce, so I would still be able to kind of, chat with the produce people or whatever, but, yeah, it just sucks because Lenny's still there. I mean, and he did mention that he actually, what I heard, not gonna lie, hey, is that Lenny is actually depressed, and it's just work related. They are understaffed. They are understaffed, which means the core group. Okay, there's basically two sides of it. All right. In produce, you basically have the old timers who has been with Jewel for decades and decades, and they won't leave. I mean, because after all these years, they collect benefits and they collect all this stuff, and they can't leave. I mean, if they leave, I mean, the Jewel is their whole life. And then you have these teenagers who come in, and they don't care as much about the job, and they're short term, and alright, there's nobody in between. It's basically senior citizens and teenagers. There's nobody in between. Yeah. I mean, there's this one guy who recently joined, which is the person and who is the undercover boss's secret agent, and I think he is like 45, but he looks a lot younger though. But yeah, that's about it. But I would almost count him on the senior citizen. I mean, mark, or that type of group level. But yeah, so I mean, well, what I would really hope. All right, first off, I'm not going to be working with Lenny. That's one of the reasons. I mean, I would work 1 to 9. Because for sure I could work 1 to 9, but Lenny works from 6 to 2. So I do not want to show up at 1 o'clock and have to work with him for an hour, and actually there's a few times that he works that he works 6 to 3. So that's 2 hours too long. Um, now what I wouldn't mind doing from time to time is, if I wouldn't mind, I could actually do this a few times, and I can say, hey, blah blah, who is working from 6 to 2 with say he's working 6 to 2 with yeah, just that he's working 6 to 2, and Lenny is not there that day. Hey, and I'm like, oh, and I'm working 3 to 9. Yeah, and I can say, hey, blah blah, do you want to go home early? I can come in and take a part of your shift, which is 6 to 2, and I can work 1 to 9. All right. So which is basically, I don't know how that would work though, because he would, I would take 1 hour from him, but I would be there an extra hour, which which is actually fine. I mean, in some circumstances, it depends who is working and who has the blah blah blah. But if you talk to, say, not Lenny, but the assistant manager or whatever, he might be like, that's, oh yeah, that's fine. You want to come here a little bit earlier? Sure. And the other guy is like, hey, dude, I'm leaving 1 hour early. Sweet. I feel like that would more work with, I guess, somebody working 7 to 3. I mean, yeah, that does happen. If some people might work 7 to 3, so, and I would take their 2 hours and be like, hey, I'll come in early that day. You can go home early that day. So then, working 7 to 3, he works 7 to 1, and actually, for a lot of people, if I was working a morning shift, and somebody was covering me like that, and I get to work 7 to 1, I mean, they would be like, oh yeah, I would love that. And so some people are, after that moolah, but yeah, some people are after the moolah, but the other people are like, I just want to go home. So, but yeah, hopefully I can, because guys, I think one reason that I quit Mariano's, I mean, I could have stayed. I really could have. But two things. First off, I had a set of days off already, and I was at my dad's house, and these were some really nice days out, which meant I could walk to the downtown. I can work out. I can visit Jewel, but I knew that I had the opportunity for the custodian government job, and I also never forgot about Costco going on. So I'm like, okay, so I'm like, okay, so I have Plan A, which is the government job, custodian job. I still have Costco, And you know what? And I thought about possibly going back to Jewel as some type of part-timer type of thing. You know, if I got the government custodian job, I could possibly, you know, sneak in a few days, you know, here and there, or whatever. Um, yeah, the hoverboard. I just got off the hoverboard, but um, but yeah, I can't believe I didn't get the custodian job. I mean that sucks, but I thought I nailed that interview. I mean that. I don't know. This whole dating thing. Nobody has faved me on this Clover dating app. What a joke, bro. What a joke, bro. Yeah, but yeah, one thing that was a pretty big mistake was me not. I talked to a different Jewel location regarding joining their produce, and I basically had it in the bag. I mean, all I had to do was just like, I was basically at the doorstep of $1 million. I'm not really, obviously, but what I'm trying to say was I basically had it in the bag, but I chose Mariano's because I thought it was a better company to work for, which it is in a sense, a slight bit, but I decided to go right instead of left, and that was not the right choice. It wasn't. So yeah, so we'll see. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Just next steps are to just go to yeah, tomorrow go to Jewel, try to, you know, show your interest in person, and then obviously go to Mariano's In and Out, pick up the check there, and but yeah, so alright guys, I think that's about it. It's pretty darn late. I think I was live streaming for quite a bit too. Look at, we have all 0 people. Alright guys, well that's what's up latest. We talked about dating apps, we talked about the future, and you know, if I don't, if it's, well, what he's going to, if the produce is a no-no, which I think it's, I would say that I have a 40% chance in getting that gig. And if they hire these other people, um, if they hire these other people, well, that I talked about that might get into produce, it's just going to be that chance of me getting in is going to be like nothing. And now would I take a different position, such as um, it's tough. I mean, uh, Drive Up and Go was slammed. They have a lot of people. They almost have too many people in there. Would I try to? I might think about getting into meat market, but I feel like the right call would be to go with what I should have done a while back and try to get into a different location. Holy cow, we have a viewer. I mean, I was just about to in a few comments. Hey, I'm trying to see who it is. There's an icon, Banana Army. I think you were here a little bit back, but you caught me in a pretty bad time because I was just about to I was wrapping up. I was wrapping up, but you're probably one of the most like loyal viewers that I have. I'm back. Yep. You caught me in a pretty bad time. But I was just wrapping up about what jobs that I'm trying to go after and all this good stuff. But all right, well, I'll catch everybody later. Everybody, which I'm talking about the one person, Banana Army. I think it is, right? I think it's Banana Army. Um, but yeah, the checking the comments one more time. Well, not really, cause I gotta go soon. All right, well, Banana Army, I'll catch you later. Um, until next time, this is CaptainC